Welcome back to the land of the seven suns with Fishy Plant Man as your host. Alright, I'm going to talk a little bit about the orchids because I don't think we've seen the orchids in a video lately. Mostly because they're not doing particularly well. Yeah, they had some, I can't say what I want to say. They had some nights that was well below 65, down into 50, maybe a little colder, and they objected to that. So, yeah, not doing much. This one here in the tank getting some water. I'm not even sure it's going to live. That's a shell, not my thumb again. Or a finger. But I don't know if it's going to make it. The crown, it had two funky little leaves. They died, and I think the crown is done. So this one might just be a matter of how long does it take it to die. Up here, yep, there's the fiddly fig. But up here we've got, and this is going to go into the water when I'm done, but it's not doing great either. It's got an old leaf that's got some issues. And as you can see, it was set back, and it's kind of like a keiki is coming out of the crown. So not doing particularly well. I think they might need more water than they're getting. So I'm going to put them in the tank more often. But, yeah, it's almost as if I'm down to a keiki on this one. Let me throw it in the tank there for some water. And the last one that I got left, because I'm down to, it looks like 5 phalaenopsis maybe. Anyway, this one's looking dehydrated. Again, it's got small little leaf in there. I think that's done growing. That's all I'm going to get for that leaf. So again, set way back. Hey, frog. We're going to drop it in, let it get some water, because I don't think they're getting enough. Way back. Let me move this candle. Way back in there, that one doesn't actively get taken down for water. It looks like it's got dead roots in the aquarium, but again, that's not a finger, that's decoration. But it seems to be getting enough water. It's got some dehydration, but it does seem to be getting water. And if I can get in here and kind of focus on this old stem, yeah, that looks like a keiki coming out. Now there is fingers in the, but that looks like a keiki. I don't move this one or anything, so I don't really know what's going on in the crown. Seems to be getting enough water. The stem is not dying back. Some say, and if I sound like Roger, that's yeah. I kind of like his some say. But yeah, it's been said, some say, you know, you might as well just cut the stems off when they're done blooming, because if anything, they'll give you a pathetic second bloom. Well, I've had good second bloomings, and I've gotten what looks like a keiki a couple of times. I've never actually gotten a plant to grow off the stem, but it happens. I've seen keikis on phalaenopsis stems that were quite a bit bigger, so it can happen. Keikis can and do grow on the flower spikes. And I also believe that they're a decent indicator that your plant may be starting to go downhill. Because sometimes when this flower spike starts to die, if you start taking better care, basically, get active and do what you can to provide better care for your plant, you can stop the flower spike from dying back, and then it just stays. Sometimes you can even get like yellowing to green back up. But I find that more often than not, if you can get the flower spike to stop dying back, it just sits there at that point. Like this one. It had died back to that point. I got it to stop, and it's just been sitting like that for, I don't know, months. But I don't find that to be terribly ugly or in the way or really doing much of anything. They can either shoot out side branches, because this one can't extend from the tip. The tip has died. But technically it could extend out flowers on side branches. I find that if it doesn't do that soon after the blooming, it probably won't. But it may just stay green for years. And if there's a problem, like you've neglected a little bit, that flower spike is often the first thing to start dying back. And it can kind of tell you, hey, I'm not doing great. I'm going to eat my flower spike if you don't do anything to stop this. But if you do something to stop it, it may very well stop and continue to just sit there green. Or in this case, it might develop that little leaf that looks like it could be a keiki. And I don't believe that it's stopping anything else. I haven't got any new flower spikes yet, but I haven't got any new flower spikes on anything. That could be the environment change. That could be the stress. I find that it could be just about anything stopping that new flower spike. Anything else. The stress of the cold nights before the move. Just the change of environments. Combination of both. The fact that I haven't got the temperature change. The lack of new flower spikes could be just about anything except for the fact that this flower spike is there. I'll even say, if it's trying to grow the keiki, maybe it's, not going to put energy into a flower spike because of the keiki that is starting to grow. But not the flower spike itself. I don't believe that has any bearing on anything. So, yeah, maybe I'm getting a keiki. But there's no new flower spikes on anything yet. I don't know about new growth on that one. Like I say, the other two have done, well, there are three. The big one there did grow some new growth, but then it died. The other two have not aborted their new growth. Over here, We've got some white wall. This one is the newest phalaenopsis. I took it out of the bark chips, and I don't know how well it's responding to that. It's sitting here doing virtually nothing. No new growth of any kind. Just sitting here doing nothing. So, there's an update on the phalaenopsises, because this is the fishy plant man. I need to try to keep a balance between the plants, or I think I do for the channel, between information on the plants and on the fish. So, the orchids and the fish kind of started it, so there's a bit of an orchid update for you. Okay, I guess I'll put the fish update in another video, maybe tomorrow or the next day. Talk to you next time.